Was you recording? Um,
Yes.
uh, Welcome to Let Us Review Cinema. Today we are reviewing the highly controversial movie of Die Hard.
Yippee-ki-yay, mother.
The one movie that around this time of year where people have mixed feelings about it. So I'm here today with my co-hosts Trevor and Jonathan, and we are going to be giving our overall review ratings for this. So I'm going to start with Mr. Trevor. What would you give this rating for this movie?
I'm not gonna lie, my first time seeing this movie was this past week. I'm gonna give it a solid 8.8 out of 10.
Okay, very agreeable. Mr. Jonathan, what is your rating?
I'm gonna go 7.5 out of 10.
7?
7.5 out of 10.
I can see.
Yeah, yeah, 7.5. 7.5. Yep, I'm going with 7.5. Yep.
You said that already!
Me personally, I'm going to give it a solid 9 out of 10. It's one of my favorite
Nice.
movies I've ever watched ever.
Nice.
Now, the question of the day is, should it be classified as a Christmas movie? Because it has major controversy wrapped all around it. So we need to confirm between y'all both and our viewers, should it be a Christmas movie? Mr. Jonathan, should it? Yes or no? And give us your reason why.
No. No. No, it should not. It should not. I have reasons. I have my reasons. Trevor's been waiting for this one. Trevor's been waiting.
You're gonna make a lot of people upset.
I know. The reason why is because I understand that it is filmed around Christmas time. I understand that. The movie is not Christmas themed. Like there's nothing about Santa, there's nothing about presents, there's nothing about going shopping for presents. Like I understand there's some Christmas lights, okay, whatever. But the whole movie are about these guys like coming to like rob this place. It has nothing to do with Christmas.
What about the Christmas party that is taking place
It's
in the
literally
building
a
and the
Christmas
opening
party.
scene? Dude, them some fighting words. Them some fighting words. Now, I do see reasoning because he could also argue that Sleepless in Seattle is also not a Christmas movie because it also takes place in the same time period, the same time of year as Die Hard. So, arguably, you could argue yes or no for Sleepless in Seattle or Die Hard. So,
In my opinion, Die Hard not a Christmas movie.
Jonathan, listen up. This is taking
Okay,
a
all right,
huge
let's.
part of our segment, but I just gotta clear this up. It has Christmas trees, Christmas lights. They talk about presents. Takes place on Christmas Eve. Christmas is probably said 500 times throughout that movie. What does National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation have in it? Does it have Christmas trees? Does it have Christmas lights? I think it takes place around
What?
Christmas and
You are
on
not
Christmas.
comparing this to Christmas Vacation right now.
I'm telling you, it has all the same things Die Hard does, except Die Hard's an action movie. Do you see my stance?
I see your stance.
Okay,
I
so
can see
sorry.
it.
So sorry to
I,
take us.
I can.
All right, but
Okay.
I would have to verge on the both sides to be the equalizer here because one could argue, yes, I see John's point that there's no Christmas themes other than the fact of the Christmas party and the lights as decorations of a seasonal greeting, but not really based on this holiday season. This holiday season, John McClaine takes on this guy on the best night of the year. I don't see anything like that, but there are elements of it to where it could be, yes, it could be a Christmas movie due to the fact of the time of year it's taken in. Arguably, with same thing like Sleepless in Seattle, taken around the same time of the year in December, Christmas Eve, all that kind of stuff. I will end the feud there at the equilibrium between both. So yes and no. All right. So now the highlights of this movie. What did we love about this Die Hard movie?
I loved obviously it's action. Like it just gets better and better. But dude, some of those scenes were like, oh my god, that just really happened. Like a lot of those will be in the spoilers, but like there were some great, there like things exploding and like helicopters going. Like it was a fun one to watch. Like as I like watched it, I feel like it started slow. As I kept watching, I was like, dude, there's no way that is about to happen. Like seeing it from like the way, well, not camera angle, but like I guess the way it was filmed, like just seeing everything like from a distance, dude, that was really really cool.
Yeah,
Love
I
it.
feel like a lot of the action was pretty over the top, especially since like around the time it came out, like people died, like
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
but I do feel
Yeah.
like the action was handled very well. I feel like this isn't really like a common story you'll see. Obviously, like you do see hostage movies a lot, but them taking place on Christmas you really never see, unless it's Die Hard, really. But I feel like there's a lot of like memorable quotes from this movie. Like you have, the famous line, "Yippee-ki-yay, mother flipper,"
Yeah.
and then
Yep.
Yeah.
you have
Also, where he's beating up the blonde-haired German, saying, "I'm gonna cut you up. I'm gonna cook you. I'm gonna eat you."
yeah. There's another part too where this guy finds this dead guy in like an elevator or something, and he's got a sweater, and on it says like, "I have a machine gun now, ho ho ho," or something like that.
Absolutely. I love the theme of this being like, this is John Wick before John Wick. This single cop from New York who can take down a whole crew of 30 people just by himself, barefooted and wearing a tank top and slacks. Like, this is absolutely like just it's nonsense to think like one guy could defeat an entire mob crew of 30 people, all from different places in the world, and completely just outhandle them, which absolutely blew my mind. But there's also that slight pinch of cheesiness that comes along with it. Like, realistically, one guy's not gonna be able to fend off 30 people with normal reasoning. But this is what makes like, oh, John McClaine is John McClaine. Like, there's no other person, there's no other cop like him, there's no other person who is at the same level that he is, not the same intensity. He will do whatever is necessary to survive and to keep his wife and his family safe. So now to the part where it's gonna be, what did we hate about this classic action movie?
I mean, I guess the only thing, if I can remember correctly, just like whenever he starts talking to his wife and realizes that she stops putting or Mrs. as if like they weren't married anymore. If I can recall, that's like the only thing I didn't really like. I was just like, well, that kind of sucks.
I feel like for me, it's not necessarily like something with the movie. It was just my experience watching it. I watched this with my 70-year-old grandma, and as you know from watching this movie, there's so much violence and there's so many curse words in this movie. It was just more so awkward to watch with her. I feel like that just makes the memory of watching it a lot better, just because like someone asks, "Have you seen Die Hard?" "Yeah, I saw it with my grandma." I'll be like, "What? You saw that movie with your grandma?"
I feel like for me, the worst thing that I did not just like enjoy about it was the head cop of the LAPD and those two FBI agents, Johnson and Johnson. I'm like, how are these guys the head of the police force?
You listen to me, you little I'm not the one who just got butt on national TV, Dwayne.
One, you're giving a discriminatory stance about this cop who just called in for backup from a body being thrown at his car, and you're like, oh, well, you don't have all the information, so you're wrong. They're just too goofy for this movie. Like, honestly, like Alan Rickman did an amazing job being this like serious guy who just does not care, and he's going to get what he wants. And then you have the opposition who's supposed to be like, I don't know, the light humor of the movie being like, oh yeah, there's these two stupid cops that are just absolutely dumb. They don't know what they're doing. Now, do we have a favorite scene from this movie? Because there's so much that we could dive into, but we gotta at least have one favorite scene from this movie.
I have two favorite scenes. When all the explosives goes off like throughout the whole entire building, that was so cool. And then whenever the helicopter falls off the side and just explodes.
Trevor, we got to set a reminder never to let John near fire ever.
Dude, I don't have anything like specific, but the driver, like from the airport to the building,
yeah.
dude, he was hilarious.
We got everything in this mug, man. Look at this. CD, CB, TV.
Argyle,
Love Arg.
He's hilarious, dude. You gotta love him.
I think my favorite scene was probably the last scene with Alan Rickman whenever he's falling to his imminent death. And the reaction on his face is just so genuine. The actual fun fact about that is when they were filming that scene, they had a blue screen airbag right behind him. And they said, all right, on the count of three, we're going to just drop you and we'll, do the scene. Just be as genuine as you can be. And they let him go on one. And so that fear in his eyes, that reaction is so genuine. And I could not get Professor Snape's voice out of my head the entire time I was watching that movie, just like, Leviosa. Expelliarmus. Thank you guys for watching. It's a pleasure to be part of the show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below. Next time we have a video, we're going to be commenting on Wicked. The 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes, which is a very rare instance. But we will see you next time. Peace out.